All right. Well, good afternoon. My name is Tracy Olsen, and we make the most comfortable, stylish, sun-protective clothing on the market. So after you finished a new experience with Anne, it's run a little late, and now you're going out to the nightclub, you're going to look fantastic through all of it and not worry about our problem. Next slide, please, which is skin cancer. Skin cancer, or next slide, sorry. That was just my cute logo.
Oh, this is great.
By contrast, the knee on the left, that's mine after melanoma a few years ago in Florida. I caught it before I needed chemotherapy. It's normally a death sentence if you don't catch it within 3 to 4 months. You can see some of the other victims of basal cell and squamous. They don't drop to the blood, but it's a tremendous problem. It's on the rise, and we need to protect ourselves. How do we solve this problem? With incredible styles. I like to think of it, Polo, Ralph Lauren meets Columbia. Recognizable brands, style, function, but your closet, you don't have to choose anymore if you're going to be sun protected or if you're gonna look good. Basically, if you're outside, if you're presenting inside behind a window with sunlight coming in, you wanna look good. And the marketing competition, this will be more verbal, but basically the projected market for sun protection over the next 10 years globally is increasing from 51 billion to 139 billion. The SAM, the USA market, actually is 35% of that. It's 5.1 billion and 13.9 billion. So our local regional SOM that I've already been working with, if we just hit 0.005% of that, we'll be looking at 25 to 70 million. My direct competition, Peter Millar, the golf brand, Jamie Sadek, the golf brand, and Columbia, the sun protective brand, that isn't necessarily used for golf. Again, we're kind of a hybrid. And all of our price points are $70 to $120. And we've already made a dent in the market. We already command 6 to 10% of all golf apparel in Northern Nevada and Northern California. And I'm ready to expand. I'm excited. For the marketing competition, those are specific to golf, but we're able to branch out into completely different areas. It's just I don't have time to educate different markets. And right now, golfers ask for sun protection. That I can revisit that. Our customers, if Ms. Slide, thank you. Our customers are primarily men aged 35 to 65 in the top 25% of income, and they are very passionate about their activities. Again, we started with golf because they're already educated. Meet them where they're at. They go in, they love the shirts. Oh yeah, it's sun protective. I'll make my wife happy. And themselves, but usually it's the ladies in the lives that are harping about it. Next, golfers ages 21 to 35. I've watched the college interns, if you will, that work at the golf courses. They save up their money, they buy the shirt, and then male golfers 66 to 75. The next market, which was my original target market 18 months ago, are women. But women really have an affinity for hiking. So they like to use our clothing brand for hiking. And we're in with Columbia Sportswear at Shields, and we're making headway there. It just keeps moving, and we keep fine-tuning for the ladies market. But the men's market, we've hit the sweet spot. We found exactly what the men want. And they don't wear it just to golf. In fact, a lot of the business has been just word of mouth. Oh, where'd you get that shirt? And that's expanded to the corporate world as well, which is the national sales meetings for pharmaceutical companies. They always have giveaways for their employees, and those giveaways would be Protect Your Tail. If you need specific traits of them, I have all the psychology, but you don't need to go. Next slide, please. Where do we reach our customers? Wherever high-end clothing is sold. Resort wear, athleisure, activity specific, travel destinations, yachting, sailing, special events such as Lake Tahoe, Concourse d'Elegance. Perfect match. Facebook for the age demographic more than Instagram, but also Nextdoor. Traction, Next, please. We currently make up 5 to 7% of 14 retail partners in Northern Nevada, Sacramento. These are not just your average. These are incredible partners. We are at the #1 golf retailer, Hagen Oaks in Sacramento. We have the #1 seller at their Big Spring Golf Fest event, and they can always reorder. We're in Arrow Creek, Somerset, etc. And again, let's say, to give you numbers, Arrow Creek has $30,000 of merchandise at any given moment. We represent 3,000 to 5,000. Same as Somerset. And we're at Lahontan Golf Course, as well as Palm Desert. We went down to the Palm Desert show and picked up a partner there. And when our buyers are business buyers, they get it. If they feel it, they look at it, they get it instantly. It's an instant buy. And they don't buy 6 or 12, they buy 48 to 64 because they're in. The CAC for B2B is typically $500. And how I did that, local shows cost, say, $1,000 to $2,000. So if I go to a local trade show, I usually pick up 6 or 7 customers. Their average order starts at $1,500, and the reorder increases about 20 to 25% each time. So given a 3-year LTV, yes, given a 3-year LTV, we're looking at around 16 to 18,000 for business to business with my current little budget that I've been working with. And then the CAC for direct to consumer is 0. That's been me out there working it, talking to people when we're out watching football games at bars, etc. And they buy $175 is the average order, and they reorder about every 3 months. And they introduced me to their golf pros, their tennis pros, their friends. And I just picked up Airways Golf Course in Fresno yesterday, which is why I was driving over to pass today, but that's another story. But again, the individual order is around $175. So if we're looking at time of 3 years, that's about $1,600 LTV for an individual customer. Slide, please. Business model. We start local, and now we're expanding. But we've done our target research. We know what sells. I have the product in a warehouse. We're ready to go. Currently, we're 95% business to business and retail stores, 5% online, but it's much more profitable to sell online. We just need to always have I'd like to invert that model. 80% online, 20% at key, well-respected shops. Revenue, thank you, slide. We started out last year in April, and we made $5,000. So now, this year, we have made $32,000, projected $124,000 for next year. That's me with my little budget. But by joining a team, et cetera, we're looking at $500,000 to $1.5 million. Slide, please. We have a full-on team, and my ask, ideally, slide, please, I'd like to be a part of the Business Accelerator program. I really appreciate the expertise that's here in this room. I'm one person. I'm a very successful person, but I need help. Ideally, $200,000 for marketing, a full-on ad campaign, to be able to order large quantities of what sells and reduce my cost, increase profits, luxury events, trade shows like PG in Orlando, and connections with corporate events, buyers, shops, etc. Or simply, please, buy a shirt online. Every sale counts, and thank you for helping me end skin cancer one tail at a time.
Great. Okay.